April 6, 2:52 p.m. outside the Grand Tower temporary film lot. Welcome back, everybody! Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Oh, excuse yourself, Willpowers. Please, my goodness. Could you please give it a rest already? The heck, I'm telling y'all, it's the best for y'all's sake to come clean. The staff has their lips sealed shut as reporters continue their tenacious negotiations. If you're not here to cooperate with the investigation, I must ask you to vacate the premises. What a sock in it, copper. Y'all couldn't even stop Muzilla's invasion. Not only did they secretly raise a giant monster, but now the staff is trying to cover it up. Like I said, we haven't been raising any monsters here at the film lots. Why didn't you said you saw a gourd yourself? Sure, I saw it, but it's not like we were keeping it at the film lots. Mind if we butt in? I knew it! Ah, Mr. Edgeworth.
And John.
Oh, y'all come here to search for the monster too? We're searching for a criminal, not a monster. Langzi says. The darkness inside a criminal's heart can be likened to a monster. Well, when it comes to killing people, criminals aren't much different from monsters. Before I forget, because I did say I was going to show where we're at, I want to see exactly where we are. Are we at beginning part 3 or are we in middle part 1 finally? Let's see. Middle part 1. Alright, okay. We're making some progress here. We're actually out of the beginning at long last.
Agent Lang, this is a problem. I can't let outsiders enter the crime scene.
These are all key figures in the case. I'd like them to be here when the investigation resumes.
Agent Lang, regarding what you said about resuming the investigation, where do you intend to start?
We'll start by reviewing the case. Today, the body of President Han was found here at the film lot. The president's whereabouts from 2 nights ago are still unknown.
It seems he snuck out from under the eyes of his bodyguards and ventured outside.
And that night was the last time he was seen alive. It was when he met with you, Judge Courtney, on the roof of the Grand Tower. Ah! ... So why did you meet with the president?
That I cannot say. You can't tell us even under suspicion of murder?
Can't say? Why not?
Miss Courtney, if you don't say anything, you'll only be more suspicious.
Ha! She must have a reason to clam up. I think you're somehow involved in the president's assassination.
The president's body was only discovered today. That still leaves a blank of 1 whole day after Judge Courtney met with him unaccounted for.
Don't be so impatient. We're gonna fill in that blank right here, right now. The evening on the blank day in question is what's important. What happened here last night? So why don't you tell us, John Marsh? Me? We know you were here last night.
What? John was here?
Between that little Missy's testimony and the footprints we found, we can easily prove it. John, you were rehearsing here last night, right? You were spying on me? I'm sorry. I just came to check up on things. You really shouldn't be staying up so late, you know? Mind your own business! Wow!
John Marsh, that young lady was worried about you. Why did she just call him by his full name right there? That's kind of weird. You'll not speak to her like that.
Sorry.
How many times have I told you to be more mindful of the way you speak? Is it just me, or does Miss Courtney's personality seem kind of different? She seems to be as strict with her own son as she is with those who violate the law. Are you listening to me? And earlier as well. Blah 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 blah. Dot 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 dot. You should always bear that in mind, no matter the occasion.
Can we get on with the investigation already?
Ah, pardon me.
For Judge Courtney to get carried away like that. This must be her motherly side. Agent Lang, do you suspect John?
All I want is the truth. Why was the president killed? And I want to know who killed him. I'll do whatever it takes to find out.
It seems the president was like family to him. John, would it be alright if we asked you a few questions?
Sure, it's fine. I've got nothing to hide anyway.
We'll see about that. John's rehearsal.
I wasn't feeling too great during yesterday's shoot, so I made a few bloopers. They're reshooting the scene today, so... well, I decided to rehearse a little on my own, that's all. I do it all the time. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary.
You were rehearsing alone that late at night? Is that so now? John, when I called you last night, you told me you were at the hotel.
You called him? About what time was that?
I believe it was around 11 p.m. I require him to call me every night. That's our rule whenever he stays away from home.
The truth is, I was at the film lot during the time.
So you lied to me.
I'm sorry!
Miss Courtney sure is angry. I think it's admirable that he practiced on his own, even if he hid it from his mom.
I'm sure she was simply worried. Who knows what could have happened to him, out alone so late at night. In reality, he did get caught up in yesterday's incident.
But John said there wasn't anything out of the ordinary, right?
Is that really the truth?
I don't know. Rebuttal, John's rehearsal.
I wasn't feeling too great during yesterday's shoot, so I made a few bloopers. Oh, you made bloopers, you say? What kind of bloopers? Were they good bloopers? They better have been good bloopers, because if they weren't, well, I'm just gonna be very, very wondering indeed.
Like, why? Why can you make it a little bit better now? Woo! Excuse me.
Hold it!
What do you mean, bloopers? John, you said you didn't feel well. Could you tell me more concretely what was wrong?
That doesn't matter. I just wasn't feeling well, alright?
You weren't feeling well? Maybe you drank too much milk?
How'd you... no, I mean, that's not it.
Sounds like I might have been it, actually.
So he didn't feel well because of his stomach.
When I was young, I was told that chewing milk makes it easier. What? What? Chewing milk makes it easier in your stomach, you know.
This conversation is over. Anyway, I made a few bloopers. They're reshooting the scene today, so...
So they plan to reshoot the scene today, and you were practicing for that last night.
My mistakes cause a lot of trouble for the people around me. I'm a pro, so practicing that much more is natural.
He certainly does have an admirable sense of responsibility.
John is incredibly dedicated to his craft. He didn't even make any major mistakes in those bloopers. But he said if it would make the movie just a tiny bit better. Shut up! You don't need to go around blabbering about stupid stuff like that. I'm sorry.
If only he was a little more cooperative, I'd have no complaints.
Anyway, that's what happened. Well, I decided to rehearse a little on my own, that's all.
John, about your testimony just now.
John Marsh, don't I always tell you? If you're going to practice by yourself, you have to let me know beforehand.
No.
My time to speak was completely stolen away from me. I shall ask you once more, John, about your testimony just now.
But you know, John, I think it's really great.
Again?
I bet putting in an honest effort like that will make someone even more talented. You'll go from a little thief to a middle thief, and then someday you'll become a great thief. I'll be doing my best, so you do your best too, okay, John?
Ahem. Now then, if I may. John, do you often rehearse in that way? At last. At long last, I finally got to ask my question.
What even was that? Jeez Louise.
I do it all the time. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary.
I do it all the time, John Marsh, 2018.
There are no mistakes in that testimony, correct?
Of course, there's no mistakes. It was just a normal, peaceful night. Nothing out of the ordinary happened at all.
A peaceful night? How can you say that when an incident like this had occurred?
Kay, he is still a child. Please don't get seriously angry. There was nothing out of the ordinary. Excuse me.
He doesn't know anything at all about the incident. That's the impression I'm getting. But isn't there evidence that shows something did happen last night?
Yes. I don't have time to waste dealing with a child's lies. Let's present the contradiction.
Okay. We're shooting today, so I decided to rehearse a little on my own, that's all. I do all the time, there wasn't anything in the Well, that's obviously gotta be it. The concrete's broken, the ground beneath them is exposed with giant footprints. Aww. 12 years, you say? Haha. There's a connection, apparently, to that other incident. Well, I'm going to wait. Okay, I don't think that's related because it didn't happen in the same general area. Body surrounded by pieces of concrete, yellow stain on clothes, touch check over details, and I don't know. The combination lock on the front entrance stayed locked. Rear entrance was forced open last night. Well, I mean, that was forced open, so that could be something. Taken yesterday, the body and monster footprints are not visible. Nope. Original Brazil design last night likely fell from studio roof. Oh, look at that thing. That thing is ridiculous. Nope. Nope. Too nice to go to the present. Never passed the 51st floor store. Oh, yeah. I was all saying, like, oh, maybe he went down there by himself and Judge Courtney came back. I forgot. Duh, of course. I knew something seemed wrong about what I said right there. I was like, wasn't there something debunked about that or something? And I was like, oh yeah, okay, now I remember. Freaking modest testimony, my gosh. And no one bothered pointing that out either. I guess it was just so stupid that no one bothered to even point it out. The jar was inside. Recorded last night. Shows John practicing by himself. My footprints can be seen. Well,
I don't get it.
Would the footprints have been the things out of the ordinary? That's what I wonder if I need to present or not. And I'm pretty sure none of this other stuff is necessary. Okay. I have two ideas. I can either present this, or I could present the combination lock because both of those happened last night. I'm thinking because of the footprints, I might present this. Alright, yeah! Woohoo! Got it right.
There wasn't anything out of the ordinary. That's a lie, isn't it? We have evidence right here.
Ah, could that be?
That's right. It's the video you recorded your performance.
Ah! What? You're telling me you had the video from last night?
Exactly, and in this video, there is clearly something that is out of the ordinary.
This is a monster's footprint.
Would you say that monster's footprints are a commonplace on a film set?
John, why did you conceal this video from us?
No reason, really. Hey, Pop, this is no joking matter. You had a reason to hide it, right?
John Marsh, answer him clearly.
But, Mom...
Well?
I didn't want anyone to see me rehearsing. Dot 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 dot.
Dot 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 dot.
Dot 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 dot. In other words, you're embarrassed about others seeing you practice.
Yeah, got a problem with that? You're saying that's why you hid the evidence?
John!
Eve! Quit nagging me, you've already busted me, what more do you want? Yeah, the footprints were there, but I just practiced and headed home.
How come you're so calm after finding those footprints? It's a monster, you know? A real live monster.
I thought it was just part of the set. Besides, there's lots of other weird stuff around here too.
He's suspicious, Chief. That kid's really suspicious. You're right, the smell of a scoop strikes stinks to high heaven.
Shut up. We're done talking.
We're not done here yet.
What now?
The monster's footprints weren't the only unusual things that happened last night. Besides the monster's footprints, what other unusual thing happened last night?
What?
Oh, this.
That was forced open last night! How was that not unusual? Oh my god.
This shows what happened here yesterday.
And just what exactly does it show?
You don't understand, do you? You were still a child after all.
I don't need some guy who's less intelligent than a child telling me that.
No. It seems that wasn't it.
Let's review what happened here last night one more time. That was something that happened here last night, so I mean,
I won't let this child make a fool of me any longer.
Why are you getting so worked up about that? Anyway, just what was it that happened last night? Besides the monster's footprints, what other unusual thing happened last night? Okay, well, I guess I gotta figure this out now.
I mean, the president dying, I guess?
Happened last night, apparently. Is this what we're talking about? I mean, that was another thing that happened last night. I mean, that's multiple things that happened last night. Alright, that's it. Okay, cool, whatever. The lock getting forced open is still an unusual thing, so excuse me, game. My gosh.
A monster's head fell from the roof of that building. Surely you must have known about that.
I don't know anything about it.
Is that true?
I told you, I just practiced a bit and then went back. I don't know anything about Mozilla's head falling or anything like that. But do you have evidence to show that I know something?
There certainly isn't any evidence of that. It's also possible that it fell after John had already gone back.
If there's no evidence, then like I said, we're done talking.
It seems that John doesn't really want to talk about last night. Could he be hiding something after all?
Wait up.
Agent Lang?
It's as I thought. Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor. This video backs up my logic.
Huh? Is there something in the video that's related to the case?
Yeah, take a good, hard look at the monster costume in the top left.
The Mozilla costume? I'm not entirely sure I'm seeing what you're talking about exactly. Is it just the fact that it's open? I mean, you kind of have to get in the costume somehow, don't you?
Try comparing with the one over there right now.
It looks like it's just hanging there limply, though. The zipper on its back is zipped up tightly. Uh-huh.
Zipper on its back? What? This discrepancy is...
Yeah, the difference is plain to see. In the video, the zipper is clearly open. That's right, someone was inside.
What?
Mr. Powers, is the costume zipper usually... It's always zipped up tightly when it's not in use.
Mr. Prosecutor, do you remember my logic from before? 2 nights ago, Courtney pushed the president off the roof and killed him. Afterwards, she snuck into the film lot to hide the body.
In here?
Wouldn't it be easy to hide a body in a costume or behind all this equipment? Then all she had to do last night was retrieve the body.
You're saying the body was hidden inside the costume?
Yeah, that's right. Judge Courtney, 2 nights ago, you pushed the president off the roof of the tower. You then hid the body inside the monster costume.
I did no such thing.
Say what you want, but you're the only one who could have done it.
That should have already been proven impossible. The film lot was locked at the time. Judge Courtney could not have entered this place.
And what if there was an accomplice?
What?
I'll tell you my reasoning, so listen up.
They're gonna say that John Marsh is the accomplice because he can get in and blah blah blah. And it's her son, so you know it makes sense and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna hear you say it right now, right? Yep, the mother and son theory. Mother and son theory.
When the president was pushed off the roof, John was waiting at the film lot. If John was an accomplice, the problem with the locks would be resolved. The 2 of them then hid the president's body inside that monster costume over there.
You think this crime had such an elaborate plan?
To take the life of a nation's president. An elaborate plan is to be expected, don't you think?
John would never take part in such a crime.
You're the one being suspected. Your words don't carry much weight.
I wouldn't think those 2 had sufficient motive for something like this, though.
Well, maybe they had a motive that we didn't know about. You were the last one to meet with the president, and you're still keeping the details secret. Don't you think it's only natural that you're being suspected? ...
I mean, it is true. After all the times her and Sebastian have suspected people who were obviously not the culprit, all because of like one little hint. I mean, that's like sometimes they didn't really have reasoning. Like they just thought it was a reason, but it really wasn't. It's like, okay. So I mean, Courtney's almost kind of getting us back to her, basically.
Judge Courtney, is there no way for you to tell us your secret?
My apologies, I just cannot. No matter what. However, when the time I can talk about it comes, I will surely let you know. So if you could please...
Believe you? Is that what you wanted to say? That's what all criminals say. And you, pup, if you've got an explanation, hurry up and spit it out. I didn't do nothing. That's all I'm saying. Both mother and son won't talk. You still gonna defend them like this?
It's true Judge Courtney's actions are a mystery. However, we still don't know whether or not that ties in with a motive for murder.
Yeah, that's right. Their motive for murder can wait. For now, let's talk about the situation surrounding the crime. And the fact that these 2 are the only ones who could have done it.
Rebuttal, mother and son theory.
When the president was pushed off the roof, John was waiting at the film lot.
Oh yeah? Well, what do you got to prove that with, huh? You got any sort of proof of that, or you just making an educated guess? In which case, your educated guess is not very good, it seems. I'm gonna prove you wrong right now. It's gonna be terrible, and I actually want to see one thing real quick. A couple things real quick. I just want to see the costume right there, because all like, oh, look at that costume. That's amazing. Now I want to see this. Yeah, so it's as I thought. Both pictures are exactly the same, but just John is missing from one of them. Well, anyway, just gonna move on real quick and go press this.
Agent Lang, don't tell me you're saying John was an accomplice.
John still looks like a grade school kid. He's even got a kitty backpack to boot. How could he be an accomplice? There's just no way. Like I said, John's already in middle school, and the backpack is a part of his costume.
Lang Z says. No matter how young the cup, never pity an ungrateful pup. He may be a little brat, but a villain deserves no mercy.
So Mr. Lang Z didn't make any allowances for age. Apparently not.
Mr. Prosecutor, you're not just defending him because he's a pup, are you?
Of course, that was never my intention. I shall present suitable evidence in due course.
Oh? I'm looking forward to it. My logic's just getting started. If John was an accomplice, the problem with the locks would be resolved.
How would that resolve the problem?
I figured you'd ask that, Mr. Prosecutor, but you know, it's actually quite simple. You know?
I don't know anymore.
What if Lang did it? What if Lang was the kidnapper?
Oh gosh.
Listen up. First, that woman pushes the president off the roof.
She pushes him off.
Then that brat who knew the combination for the lock unlocks the film lot.
I see. The combination unlocks the brat. Okay, it's the opposite. Wait, I'm just thinking of something here. How... Wait, wasn't there like bars or something that at chest height that would have blocked you from getting pushed off? I mean, wasn't there? I could have sworn I remembered something like that, but I don't freaking know right now.
That's all it takes, but this is the problem, and the lock is solved. Your theory that she couldn't get in because she didn't know the combination no longer flies.
Regarding the lock, that certainly is a plausible explanation. Agent Lang, thank you for your clear explanation. Please continue with what you were saying before.
If you're gonna give up, you better do it now. The two of them hid the president's body.
Supposing those two were accomplices, why would they have needed to leave the body hanging there for an entire day?
Why don't you give it a rest and take a good hard look at reality? Thanks to their trickery, our investigation has been confusing up until now. Doesn't that about answer your question? Got it. Those two hid the body. Inside that monster costume over there.
In the video, we cannot see the inside of the costume. So can you really say for certain that the body was placed inside?
Yeah, I'll give you that much. In that case, why don't we try examining it? The inside of that costume, there might be some traces left inside.
Mr. Powers, may we examine the inside of the costume? Sure, go ahead. But it might be kind of stinky since I sweat a lot in there.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do.
This is incredibly dirty. That's strange. We always make sure to clean it after using it, so that's the sweat doesn't damage the costume.
Isn't this just proof that someone besides you used this costume? I'd say that dirt from the body probably got into the costume.
The president's body did fall on the top of the monster's footprint. That must be where the dirt came from.
Are you satisfied now? There's dirt inside the costume. It must have gotten there when the body was hidden inside.
So dirt got into the costume when the body was hidden inside. Wouldn't that mean that the dirt was transferred from the body?
Ha! Isn't that obvious? How else would you say it got there?
There's dirt stuck everywhere inside the costume. It looks particularly bad around the chest area.
Dirt around the chest? We cannot overlook this fact.
Mr. Lang's logic does seem to make sense.
Indeed. If those two were accomplices, the crime certainly would have been possible. So it would be useless to argue that point.
In that case, what should we do?
Firstly, we should have Agent Lang explain his reasoning in more detail. Let's draw out more information.
Well, that got added as new testimony, so... let's see what we can do exactly. If I found my piece of concrete, yellow sand, and clothes, let's check for details. Well, what is this yellow stain exactly? I wonder...
Okay, so none of it's visible, I guess, you know?
Ooh. Nothing about any of this stuff would make sense. And I don't see anything funny on here either. You see anything funny? I don't. I sure as heck don't. No sirree. Years ago, the president never passed through. Okay, parked in front of the Grand Tower today. His driver was inside. Oh no! How could this be? I don't feel like this really proves anything either. So I'm gonna say no to that one as well, but... I don't know. Maybe Blaze the best hid inside there. With his gloves, perhaps. Could that be possible? Is that possible? It has the same type of dirt on it. I don't know. I don't know.
As you're lying, it seems there is a clear contradiction in your statement.
Lang Z says.
It didn't make any sense, but it looked like the same type of dirt with like the white sparkly stuff and whatnot.
Lang Z says, always question words without evidence. Ha, but it seems I don't even need to question the words that you're saying. It's clearly a pathetic bluff.
Arg! So what? That was wrong.
Mr. Edgeworth, the bluff won't be effective against Mr. Lang.
Indeed. In that case, I'll have to face him head on.
I don't think a bluff really works against anyone, does it? I mean, they all figure it out in the end somehow.
So if that wasn't it, let me look at this again.
Oh, so that'd be a no. Good to know. Thanks so much for helping. Blah 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 blah. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. Well, anyway, where was I? Intercepted by a bug. Okay. Found inside Yakara's badge by the person in the red hood. A ring and chessboard found inside the safe of the 51st floor storeroom. For a nightly connected with Dogan and Patricia Rowland. Marsh interrogated him in the morning time together. Dogan's attention. Then he laid to rest in front of the flower bed. Okay, nope. This would be unrelated as well, I believe. So I'm thinking just, I don't know. The only thing I can really think of is just presenting the president's body. I'll do that.
Objection!
I don't get why, but okay, sure.
Dirt got onto the costume when the body was hidden inside it. Is that really the case?
You have a problem with that?
There was a fair amount of dirt inside the front of the costume.
Yeah, that is a lot of dirt.
However, I would like you to focus on the state the body is in. It's lying on top of the dirt, and yet there's no dirt on the front of the body.
Well, except for that yellow stuff, but I mean, that could have been dirt, right?
If the body really was inside the costume, then it's strange that the front of the body isn't stained with more dirt.
Well then, how would you explain it? And I have no idea, but I think we'll explain it on the next exciting episode! Just how is Edgeworth gonna explain it? I do wonder. But of course we'll find out! On that next one, because next ones are good. And yeah, explaining is hard. Edgeworth, please help me explain things. I'm bad at explaining.
Alright, alright.
Thank you, Edgeworth. I appreciate that. Everyone, I will see you all later. Edgeworth's gonna explain some things to us next time. See you later!